About a year ago, me and Colin made a video about the Thunder Chicken Trail System in Springdale, Arkansas. This trail system is rather small, secluded, and not ridden by anybody very often, despite being easily accessible from the Razorback Regional Greenway. The parking lot is large enough, and also has a covered patio, cement pump track, wooden skills course, water fountain, and repair station. In order to actually get to the trail system, you need to follow the pavement for about half a mile until it ends and the trail begins. The only way up to the mountain is the double-track climb known as Oak Ridge, which is really short but moderately steep. Combine that with the really loose surface and you've got yourself one challenging climb that ends at a flat grassy area with 3 marked trails branching off of it. Those trails are called Leaning Elm, Valley View, and Thunder Chicken. Leaning Elm and Valley View are both marked as blues, and Thunder Chicken is a black, which I think is appropriate, and we'll find out why later on. All of the trails are natural surface with lots of man-made wooden features that are avoidable if you don't want to do them. Now that we have a basic understanding of the trails here, let's take a closer look at them. Starting with Leaning Elm. This trail is the shortest one at the park and contains no purpose-built jumps, but there are lots of roots and eroded bits that you can bump jump, which is actually quite a bit of fun. About halfway down the trail, there are some small but really fun wall rides. These are great because they're at an angle and height modest enough to be great practice for beginner wall rides. After the wall rides, there are some berms and then you merge with the output of Thunder Chicken for the final pedal back to Oak Ridge. The next trail is called Valley View, which is very similar to Leaning Elm, but is slightly longer with more switchbacks. This trail is mostly comprised of loose gravel and roots, but does have some purpose-built jumps later on down the trail. The trail also has a neat wooden skinny that is challenging but fun. After that, there is a wall ride that's more like a wooden berm. I mentioned that this trail has some jumps. Well, they're right here. This jump launches you between 2 trees, and then pretty much directly after. There's an identical one, except this time there is much less clearance. The only noteworthy thing after this is this strangely designed jump and some wooden rollers at the end with a nice view of the creek. The final trail on our tour of Thunder Chicken is named Thunder Chicken. This is the most difficult and dangerous run at the park, featuring 10-foot vertical walls, large elevated drops, and huge doubles. This is also the shortest and fastest run at the park. It starts out with an elevated wooden drop into a large step-up that is really difficult to clear, not only because of how big it is, but also because of how it's set up. In order to have enough speed for this, you have to clear the first drop, which is harder than normal because the landing is a bit eroded. After doing that, you have to conserve your momentum across the very bumpy trail leading to the jump. Anyway, once you're past that, it's flat for a while until you arrive at a wooden berm with a drop on the end, which leads into the 2 huge wall rides that look literally impossible. After that, there are some rather large doubles before another raised wooden drop, leading into 2 more big doubles, and then a small step up. After that, you're at the final drop, which is the biggest one, but also the only one without an eroded landing. The final part of the trail is 2 flat turns followed by 2 absolutely massive jumps that are really hard to clear because it's impossible to conserve speed through the flat turns. After those jumps, you arrive at the same output area Leaning Elm uses.
Whoa! Ooh, that was close.
And those are all the trails that the Thunder Chicken Trail System has to offer. As you were able to see, these trails are not the most ridden or the best cared for. It is too overshadowed by other, better trail systems in the area. If you're wanting good trails closer to home, why not just go to Gregory Park or Mount Kessler? And for that matter, Slaughterpen isn't that far away either. So why should you choose to come here? The trails are underused, undercared for, and not that great by today's standards. But is that such a bad thing? Being out in the woods away from everything, with not another single soul around. Being in a place that feels forgotten, and actually has been. It's a whole different experience, and one that I like very, very much.